Hi guys, welcome to another buzzing walkabout here on Buzzin Pataya, and today I'm in Bukkao. I'm down by the market and
So I don't know this gentleman. His YouTube channel is Buzzin Pataya if you are interested in his content. He, I think, lives in Pattaya, and that's a city on the coast. It's about an hour south of Bangkok, and it's a tourist destination. It's just opening up after COVID now. So he, in this video that I'm going to cut, he talks about his life with his Thai lady. Of course, all the Thai ladies are different, but this is sort of fairly typical of what you can expect from a Thai lady, I think.
Now today's chat, what we're going to talk about, the other day I spoke about the perils or things you need to be aware about with a bar girl. And I've been asked a question about what's it really like to live with a Thai woman in a proper relationship that's not come from the bar industry. And it was a good question, and to be honest with you, I want to go through it because it is quite interesting, some of the things that you can not expect, that's the wrong word, but some of the things that will take place that perhaps you weren't expecting that will become normal for you. And trust me, it's good, it really is good, and you wonder why so many of us are looking for that relationship over here with a Thai person. Well, I'm going to explain some of the reasons why. So, living with a Thai woman. Now, I feel really awful what I'm about to say because I really don't know how else to say this, if I'm being honest. So I'm just going to throw myself in there and just say it how it is. But basically, you need to differentiate between bar girls and normal, that's wrong, I hate that word, normal, that's terrible, non-bar girls, girls that are working in maybe a pharmacy, maybe in a shopping mall, maybe they're working somewhere else in an office. That's what I want to talk about, a relationship with those kind of people. Oh God, I've done it again, not those kind of people, with girls that are working in those environments, because it is a lot different to possibly living with a girl that's been in the bar scene, and I'll explain why. So when these girls, I'm really digging myself a hole here, and I really hate this terminology I'm using, and because I'm not very clever in words, I kind of say the first thing that comes into my head. But anyway, so let's go with this. So yeah, so the girls that are not in the bar scene. Now, you might be laughing to yourself thinking he's got to be on drugs if he thinks that we're going to find a girl that wants a relationship that's not in the bars. But trust me, there are lots and lots out there. You know, you use some of these apps, Tinder and all, but all those like dating apps. There are lots and lots of girls there looking for a relationship with a phalang. And the reason being is maybe they've had a bad relationship with a Thai man in the past that's ended badly. Maybe they've had a relationship with a phalang, a foreigner, and that's ended badly. But nevertheless, that's what they're looking for. And when you get into a relationship like that, you really do enter a new world, a completely different world. In terms of most of the time, you are treated as if you are like the best thing in the world, like you are royalty. And I'll give you some examples. And I'm talking from my own experience. I've been with my missus 5 years, and we've got a great family life up in Karat. And I would not swap her for all the money in the world, because she is absolutely the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I say that not because of what I'm going to explain happens in my relationship, but because of our understanding, because of how we interact with each other, just everything in general. So for example, quite often when I go home, very often should I say, not quite often, but very often, you could be sat there watching TV, and next thing a bowl of water arrives, and they'll start to wash your feet and give you a foot massage, and they're not doing it for any other reason than they are basically happy to take care of you, as they do with their mum and dad, as they do with their gran and granddads, etc., etc. And I would hazard a guess, and I might be wrong here, but the more, if you go to like the younger generation nowadays that are particularly in bars, etc., that are used to phones and all those kind of things, I think maybe that tradition will die off. But for now, certainly, you know, expect to have a massage. But not expect it as in like demand it, but it will happen where you will get a massage, you know, and they get quite upset if you say, oh no, it's okay, look, I'm just watching TV. They don't like that. I mean, talking about massages, here you go.
Okay, so what he's describing there is actually a show of respect. Now, in the Thai culture, they respect the elderly, and the elderly live with the family, so the family take care of the old people, and the daughters and the sons they'll set aside a day where they show respect to their parents, and they'll bring them gifts and give them cuddles and hugs and whatnot, and all that kind of thing. And what he's describing there is the wife is giving respect to the husband, you see. So she performs a traditional Thai ritual of washing the feet and massaging the feet. And that's why when he says, oh no thanks, I'm just watching TV, she's getting upset because he's not showing her respect for what she's doing. So it's a mutual thing that she's expecting from him, is that he'll accept her. He will show respect by accepting her respect. And there's a whole that's all part of their culture, if you like. There's a whole sort of ceremony around it, and the children will also receive that same kind of attention from the parents. So they'll be shown respect. It's about showing. It's not just about talking, right? It's about actually going through the ritual of showing respect. And like there's Mother's Day and Father's Day. There's also Children's Day in Thailand. So this is the cultural side of it. I'll also add that this does actually take quite a bit of getting used to as a Western man. It's something that is totally alien. You have never experienced anything like it in your life, and it's not easy to take. It's as simple as that. And I think that's another thing that he's expressing here. It's not about ego either. That's another thing that you need to be aware of. Like I say, it's a very alien thing to a Western man. You've never had it in your life. Nothing like it.
So massages, you know, they do it not because they're subservient, but because they consider it to be taking care of you. So it can be very overwhelming in certain times because you feel that I never got, when I was married back in England, the only massage I got was with a right hook if I've been out drinking all night. You know, you don't get that back home, or if you do, you're very lucky. So, you know, take those kinds of things into consideration, that they will dote on you. You know, you will really be treated with the utmost care. It really is very, very overwhelming in many instances. Your house. I can honestly say, and I might be wrong here, please, if you disagree guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I can honestly say I've never seen a culture where they've got one of those brooms, the hair brooms, in their hand nearly 24/7. My missus wakes up, I don't get a cuddle or a cup of coffee, she gets the broom out.
Not all Thai women are the same. I do get a cuddle and a cup of coffee and breakfast before she gets the broom out. That's just because my girl likes to start the day with an orgasm, and once she's got that, she'll potter off into the kitchen and make me breakfast, and I can mingle and wander around doing what I want to do in the morning, and she gets the broom out and then gets ready for work.
I'm like, what are you doing, girl? But that's just her nature. She likes to have a spotlessly clean house. And that is just the way that they are. They're constantly cleaning without fail. They like to keep things very clean, very tidy, and all in place. However, having said that, one of the other things that you can learn to expect is they hoard everything. Well, my missus does. You open the fridge, there's 6 shelves in there, and they are rammed. And they're not just rammed with stuff that they've been buying recently, they're rammed with things that they bought 3 or 4 weeks ago that you're thinking, that just got to go in the bin. And when you try and put it in the bin, they're like, no, what are you doing? I can eat that. And you're thinking, really? Really? You're going to eat that? And they do. They do. So, you know, expect hoarding. My missus has got enough clothes that would fit and fill up 10 wardrobes hand over fist. No problem whatsoever. And that's just the nature of what they are. They hoard everything. Throwing away doesn't happen. It's not in their vocabulary, in my experience. Maybe you disagree, but in my experience, that's how I've seen things happen. And likewise, not just inside, but outside. You know, it does my head in. My missus cuts the grass. We got a fairly big garden, and she's always cutting the grass. I'm like, what are you doing? Let's just pay a guy to come around with a strimmer and do it for you. But they don't want to do that. No, we can save the money. I'm like, sweetheart, it's 300 baht. Get the dude round, it's not an issue. But she won't do that. So they do like to keep a clean house. They do like to make sure that they take as good care of you as you could possibly imagine, more than you could ever imagine. And they do like to hoard things. They don't like letting things go. So be prepared for that. Likewise, family. Now, family is absolutely the most important thing to a Thai woman, particularly the women that are sort of like 30, 35 upwards, because they've been brought up to completely take care of their family. And I'm talking about their mums, their dads, sisters, aunts, uncles, etc. Now, I'm not just talking about financially. I'm talking about in terms of going to see them, cleaning their house, making sure they're okay, going through everything, and just really making sure that the family are well taken care of. So expect lots of family trips. But you know, when you get welcomed by the family, it really is a very, very nice, enjoyable scenario to find yourself in. You know, I love my missus' family. Her mum and dad are absolute legends. Never once asked me for a penny, and really, really are. Her whole family are just awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. My girl will cut the lawn by hand with a rice sickle. So it's a little sickle that they use to cut rice with, or harvest rice with. She'll also clean all the clothes by hand. She does all the washing by hand. She has a washing machine, but she doesn't use it because she thinks she gets a better result from hand washing. It's just what they want to do, you know. It's how they want to live. But yeah, what he says there, he also mentions he gets welcomed by the family. So that's another formal Thai ceremony that they have when you are welcomed. It's an official thing. They have a monk over usually to bless the whole thing out, and they prepare for it and everything like that. It's and once you're in the family, you're one of the family, you know. And you've actually got to take on that role as being one of the sons. So that can be a bit daunting for Western men, but yeah, it's an amazing culture. It really is. He talks about. I'll just add that he talks about women 35 and up and the young ones being on their phones. If you get out into the countryside in rural Thailand, you'll find that younger ones are still being brought up with that family-oriented culture, and it's so there's still plenty of women around that are brought up in the traditional way, and it's a good thing.
Where were we? So we've talked about the girls in terms of taking care of you, keeping the house clean, hoarding everything, family visits. You know, these are all the kind of things that you can expect in a relationship with a woman that's not from the bar industry. Now, I'm not saying that other women that are in the bar industry will be not like this, because I'm sure there are some, but I'm just simply saying in general, I believe, rightly or wrongly, that the younger generation nowadays that work in the bars have lost sight of those values slightly.
Yeah, I'll just add, I think he's right on that score. The bar girls, the thing is, you're so not used to respect in the West. Like it's just such an alien thing that you'll go into the bars in Thailand and you'll catch a glimpse of it in the bar girls, right? I mean, they can't knock all of that culture out of them, right? You just get this glimpse of it, and you get sucked in. Like the bar girl's job is to separate a man from his money as quickly and painlessly as possible, and they're excellent at it. And the reason they're excellent at it, and the men are so pliable for them, is that they've got this tiny glimmer of something that in men that you know you should get, but you don't. And in the West, you know, and you come over and you get involved, or like you get into the bar, and the bar girls are just somehow they tap into something deep in the male psyche, and you can easily get like sucked in and have all your money gone overnight, you know. Just like keep away from the bar girls is my advice. Although at the same time, you know, get into the bar and have a look. It'll wake you up. Yeah, just I find it hard to describe. This man's finding it hard to describe it. I don't know.